It's a privilege to stand here today honoring a person of such immense magnitude, an extraordinary woman who changed not only the world, but so many of us in it, my good friend Jane Goodall. I want to thank Susanna and her entire team who has done so much to carry on Jane's legacy. Her tireless compassion and support over more than 20 years has reflected the very best of Jane herself. When most of us think about environmental issues, we tend to dwell on destruction and loss. And I'll admit it's something I've always struggled with myself, but Jane led with hope, always. She never lingered in despair. She focused on what could be done. She reminded us that change begins with compassion and that our humanity is our greatest tool. Yes, she could be clear-eyed, even blunt about the greed and relentless consumption of our species. But beneath that fierce honesty was an unwavering faith that every voice matters, that we are all connected to the living world, and that each of us can make a difference. Most people knew her as Jane Goodall, the icon, the legend, but the Jane I was fortunate enough to get to know was gentle, curious, funny, witty, and absolutely unstoppable. She could light up a room with her stories and somehow inspire everyone she met to believe that they individually could do better. We got to cross paths in so many different places, at conferences, on panels, and in friends' homes. And every single time, we'd end up tucked away in a corner, talking late into the night about politics, biodiversity, and our shared hope that the next generation might do better than we have done. I was lucky enough to travel with her and witness how she moved through the world. Always curious, always patient, always connecting with people. Even in her later years, Jane spent more than 300 days on the road, an almost unimaginable schedule, yet she never seemed to tire. Her resilience was fueled by purpose. Everywhere she went, she carried one simple, powerful message, that there is still hope and that each one of us can make a difference. She was a scientist, a storyteller, a trailblazer, but above all, she was a teacher, and her legacy lives on in the millions she inspired, especially through Roots and Shoots, empowering young people everywhere to act for the planet. Her groundbreaking work in Tanzania forever changed how we understand chimpanzees and in many ways how we understand ourselves. But her love and advocacy reached far beyond that forest. It ignited an entire generation of environmentalists, including myself. One of my favorite memories is from the first time I took a photo with Jane. I looked straight into the camera. But when I looked to my left, Jane was looking directly at me instead. She told me that that's the way she preferred to take her photos, because for her, it was never about the image itself. It was about that shared connection. And that small moment said everything to me about who she was, an enlightened Homo sapien. I'll forever cherish every conversation, every adventure I had with her, every laugh, every whiskey we shared, and every time I got to spend time talking with my dear friend. May we all honor her by carrying forward that same fierce belief that we can do better, that we must do better, and that we have a responsibility to protect this beautiful natural world we all share. Jane often said, "Every day that we live, we can make an impact on the planet." May ours be an impact of hope for her, for all living things, and for the generations to come. Thank you, Jane, for being everything you said you would be and for spending your lifetime proving it to all of us.